What's up, Falcon fans and non-Falcon fans? In today's episode of Falcon Cave, we will be discussing a top 5 free agency wish list on offense that I came up with and hoping that the Falcons should consider for their next year's roster. If you like this type of content, please let me know in the comment section below so we can discuss and debate about this. Share this video with your friends, families, and foes. And please subscribe to your boy. It helps out the Empire a lot. So, further ado, let's get started with number 5. And number 5 is pretty self-explanatory. We need a legit number 2 wide receiver to help Desmond Ridder out in the future. And Brian Everett was supposed to be that cat that we traded this year from the Oakland Raiders, where we gave up draft capital to get this young Thundercat, and somehow it didn't pan out. Now, we could blame that during the summertime he kind of hurt his hand, broken it or something like that, or banged it up, whatever. But it didn't pan out at the end, even though he was on the field. Marcus Mariota didn't even bother to notice him, or when he did, it was just for like little gains, nothing big yardage, and maybe the scheme wasn't the right fit for him after all. Who knows? But it just wasn't good. So on that note, we also have some couple receivers going to hit the free agency market, right? Like Demir Bird, Frank Darby, Kadera Hodge, and Olamide Zaccheaus. I don't see any of them coming back if they do a 1-year, cheap year deal. But I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a sustainable wide receiver. And I do believe in Frank Darby, but somehow I don't think Arthur Smith does, even though we drafted this young cat from Arizona. And I thought he could be like the Ronnie White for us. You know, it just took him, 3 years to develop when Matt Ryan came into it. But I think Olamide Zaccheaus want to see a payday, and I think he probably deserves it. We're just not going to give it to him. Hodge, my bad, bro. I never saw him being more than just a 1-year wonder for us, or not even 1-year wonder, just a 1-year gap player. And Demir Bird, I mean, he was working fine with Mariota in those small little moments, but I just don't see him working out with Desmond Ridder that much with all that connection, mostly because it's just Drake London right now. So on that note, I have 2 wide receivers I think can help us for at least 2 to 3 years long-year term goal for us. So one of them is Jamison Crowder from the Buffalo Bills. So at first you think, wait, who's that cat again? Oh, remember, he played for the Commanders, and then he played for the Jets, and then he played 1 year with the Bills before he got hurt by breaking his ankle. So on that note, it might be cheap for us to get him, even though he's coming off of an injury, but he's been pretty productive. He's always been an average a good solid number 2 wide receiver. Remember, he didn't really have a major quarterback to throw it to him the ball, even though he had twice over 800 yards, receiving yards, and he averages over 4.5 touchdowns per season. So I think that's a incredible addition to the Falcons core, even though we are a running team by nature. But, he can always help Desmond Ridder coming out of those sticky situations, especially on third down conversions. And the other guy that I never understood why the Falcons never get him, even though he always hit the free agency market like at least every 1 or 2 years. And that is my boy, Sammy Watkins, coming out of Clemson, back in the 2014 draft, where he was a top 10 draft pick. And for some reason, he just never sticks to one team. And I just don't understand it. Maybe because I don't watch his film religiously. Maybe he's not a good teammate. Maybe he's not a good schemer for whatever coordinators want from him. But for some reason, he just gets by making good plays at the right time. And I don't think he's going to ask for a lot of money. So I think it'll be great, short term when it comes to contract with the money is worth. I think that's great for us. And frankly, there's not a lot of great wide receivers coming out in this free agency. Number 4 is quarterback. And the reason why this is not number 1 of the video is because I want Lamar Jackson. No other quarterback I don't need. I want Lamar Jackson. But there is a but. 2 things. Number 1, clearly, is the money. He wants his buku bread, and I'm not sure the Falcons are willing to give him all that type of dough where we need to fix other things around this organization. Number 2, is pretty much the entire reason why I don't want Lamar Jackson, even though I do want Lamar Jackson. It's the injury history that he has. He has the injury bug. He has a lot of injuries dealing with his leg, and that's a big issue in my opinion, because he needs to use his legs to make plays, right? So the knee has been a problem. He has a headache, concussion protocol problem, lower back problem, sprain, again, ankle sprain, and then now in couple weeks ago, a knee PCL sprain. I mean, he's constantly getting these, and that's a big red flag in my opinion. So why would you pay so much for this quarterback, knowing that he might not play in the most critical moments like he's doing right now with the Baltimore Ravens? So that's why he's my number 4 wish list. Okay, on to number 3. We need to add more of a flexible tight end instead of Anthony Fersker, Parker Hesse, or McCole Pruitt. Not saying they're bad, but let's be honest with you. When Kyle Pitts went down, half of our offensive scheme when it comes to tight ends went down. So why not bring back a guy that we all love, or maybe I love, in the Austin Hooper category? I love Hooper. I did not want him to leave. I'm actually wanting him to sign him back, back in the old ages, right? But now, he's not looking too hot, in Cleveland. Get it? Because, that was a great show, by the way, with Betty White. Rest in peace, Mrs. White. And also, now with the Tennessee Titans, he's just not looking too good over there. And so I'm hoping that maybe he wants to come back on a really cheap, pay cut, or maybe a little higher than he was supposed to get when he went with the Cleveland Browns, when he was paid with stupid ass money over there. And I just really want him back, and I think he'd be really a perfect fit for us. And there's 3 tight ends I really like that I know they're not gonna hit the day in the free agency. The Cowboys. Tight end, Schultz, he's not going to leave the Cowboys. Ingram, the Jags are going to snatch him, sign him to a bigger contract. And then I'm thinking another tight end. I can't quite think of it at the moment. Oh, yeah. And the Dolphins, tight end, Mike Kosketsky. I think that's how you say his name right. He's going to probably sign back with the Dolphins. So I'm thinking Austin Hooper will be a nice fit to come back for us, and I think he wants to come back. Let's hope, fingers crossed. He did say he did love the ATL, so maybe that's where he comes back to us. Okay, now, number 2, running backs by committee. Now, I know a lot of people will be saying, why we need another running back in free agency. Well, think about this. People forget, there's a lot of teams have 3 quality wide receivers that average almost 1,000 yards per receiver. Why can't we do it with running backs, since we are a running back duo team, right? And so I'm thinking Josh Jacobs is my pick, right? But there's no way the Raiders are going to let him go. So there's another running back we did have in our arsenal, but somehow Arthur Smith, dumbass, decided to let him go. And I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about, Deontay Foreman. I can't believe we let him go to the Carolina Panthers. He is a baller, he is a crawler, and he's a tank on a mission to get that milk tank. I don't know, man. I was really disappointed that we let him go earlier this preseason, and to find out that he plays for the Carolina Panthers and he just out-obliterated us. Oh, man, that just pissed me off. And I don't understand why Arthur Smith didn't see the potential this young Thundercat has. I saw he had potential when he was with Tennessee. And I was thinking, wow, we got a steal. And now he stole from us again. I don't know if that makes sense, but I would love to get him. Will he cost a little bit more? I think so, but I think he's worth it, especially if, Algier and CP gets hurt. Then we have an extra guy that we don't need to change our scheme-wise to make him fit. I think that's perfect. And anybody that questioned this, well, hit that comment section below, because I'm all ears, baby. Okay, number 1, offensive line help, please. Left guard, center. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a bear or a freaking raccoon or even a honey badger. Gotta throw in my Harry Potterness in there for a moment. But man, we need help badly. We need to get bigger, nastier, and make sure we don't cause stupid penalties. I don't care who's under center. I don't care who's helping Desmond Ridder out. I don't care who's pushing those interior offensive line to help the running game explode for more yards, for 200, 300, maybe 400 yards per game. We just need help. And that's what I'm looking for. I actually don't know what kind of scheme fit will we get for the boys for Arthur Smith heavy running scheme, but I don't care. As long as we get good quality offensive line help, I am happy. Okay, damn, I just got exploded. Okay, on that note, if you agree with the statement or disagree with the statement, hit that comment section below because I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. Because I know a lot of people will probably hit that dislike button because I probably think outside the box or maybe think inside the box or don't think at all to your guys' horror. So if you guys like this, I'll definitely do a defensive side of a top 5 because I'm still kind of curious what we can gather with the money capital we're going to get this year. Remember, this free agency draft class is not the best. So on that note, what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, peace.